Who knows someone who's attempted their own life or taken their own life?
Suicide is the biggest killer of men under 50.
I was walking around Liverpool looking for a responsible way to kill myself.
Under a new men's health strategy, Wes Streeting wants to change the conversation. I want to ask about your mental health and how you cope with stress. I don't know if there's been any recent experience that put you under any pressure. We know that many of us, especially men, are reluctant to seek out help. So the Health Secretary is teaming up with the Premier League, bringing mental health support to football stadiums where millions of men already turn up every week.
For too long, we haven't given men's health the specific focus that it needs, and that's why I'm proud to be launching the first ever men's health strategy for our country. Initiatives like this at Everton and the community are so important, and why I'm really proud to announce that we're going to be partnering with the Premier League on their Together Against Suicide campaigns.
Everton in the Community is a football-oriented support group for local people with mental health difficulties.
Who knows someone who's attempted their own life or taken their own life? We're all one step removed nowadays. That's how prevalent this issue is.
Do you stop on match days as well in terms of?
So yes, we do. There's a pilot this season, suicide prevention to run supports for people that are at the match. We had one last match. The match before we had two. Well, it takes one, and we can say one.
They have created an environment that, as we just heard, feels like a family, feels like home, and gave people who've had some of the worst experiences of mental illness the space and the confidence to open up to me, a total stranger, to speak from the heart about the way in which Everton, the community, has literally saved lives. If the NHS tried to do this, it would never be as good as what Everton and other Premier League clubs are building.
Although the Premier League is now trying to change the game, former footballer Clark Carlisle says he had little support for his mental health until he hit rock bottom.
I attempted to take my own life on 4 occasions. First time at 21, last time at 36. You know, it's funny, it comes full circle. We're back here in Liverpool. The last time that I was actively suicidal, 2017, with a little bit of knowledge, I was walking around Liverpool looking for a responsible way to kill myself. My internal logic was, where would my wife want to find me dead? What will least impact the first responders? You know, I was raised in a household where to be a man was you have your back straight, your head down, you crack on. It was all about physicality. It was all about dealing with your business. It was all about earning money and putting food on the table, and that's how you showed your worth. The demographics at a football ground, they cross every section of society. They cross every industry. You know, there are people from all walks of life who come through these doors. And the opportunity to disseminate not just a message of support, but actually physically locate it there. You'll see often at football grounds, you know, where fans will come together at a certain minute in the game with a round of applause in memory of someone. Oftentimes someone who has passed, who's taken their own life, and that unity, you know, that togetherness, that support that they show in that moment, profound and emotional as it is, wouldn't it be amazing if we can show that unity before the tragedy occurs?
I want to ask about your mental health and how you cope with stress. I don't know if there's been any recent experience that put you under any pressure. How do you cope with stress? How do you build resilience? And how do you deal with this sort of toxic culture in Westminster? Like, you know, we're talking about men opening up, being comfortable, sort of, you know, talking honestly about what's on the table, and meanwhile, you know, you don't have to be paranoid to think that they're out to get you. How do you deal with it day to day?
It's a good question, because obviously the job I do, it's high profile, it's in the public eye, but most importantly of all, it really matters. And the pressure I feel every single day that I go into work is the pressure of knowing that it's my job to turn the NHS around from the worst crisis in its history.
Toxic culture, does that get to you at all?
No, water off a duck's back.